Hi, this is Cynthia, and today we're going to talk about social media advertising. Social media advertising is a huge topic, but I'm going to cover the major key points today. Although social media advertising should not take the place of any other marketing efforts that you're currently doing, it should play a major role in your overall marketing strategy. In recent years, companies have spent more money on social media advertising than they did on newspaper and print ads. So why advertise on social media? For one, social media usage has shown consistent growth. Last year, over 28% of all website visits were to social media sites. What's more important is that users of Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, and Pinterest tend to check those sites multiple times a day. Social media is a place where your customers are probably spending a lot of time. Another reason to advertise on social media is that it allows you to proactively target customers based on interests. For example, let's compare regular search engines to social media ads. When you utilize search, you are relying on a customer to type in certain keywords into a search engine. They then have to click onto your website if that website should happen to come up in their search. In this case, customers are seeking you out and you are reacting to a process that they initiate. Using social media, on the other hand, you can use data and analytics to directly target and market to specific customers. You can proactively market to new and existing clients. You can also use analytics to track conversions, which can accurately measure your return on investment. If someone clicks on your ad on Facebook, goes to your website, and makes a purchase, analytics can track that. It is easy to track how many sales you get from one ad. The final reason why you should consider using social media advertising is that most of your customers are probably using mobile devices. The great thing about mobile devices is that social media is perfectly set up to work on those devices. So advertising on social media makes it easier to advertise on mobile devices. We can't talk about social media advertising without talking about Facebook, because it is the social media site that generates the most revenue through ads. Some major reasons why you should focus your marketing efforts on Facebook is that 1, Facebook has a huge user base. The population on Facebook is bigger than China. 2, Facebook ads are relatively cheap, and you can pick pricing options that fit your needs. For example, you can pay by impression or by click. You can even set a specific budget. For example, you can say that you will pay 80 cents every time that someone clicks on your ad. If you set a daily limit of $5, then the ad will stop appearing once you reach that amount. Finally, you can target your ads to specific demographics on Facebook, because Facebook already has all of their information from their likes, their gender, where they live. All these things can be used to generate ads. Here are some ads that appeared on my Facebook account recently. On the right-hand side, you can see these ads that are clearly advertisements. So this one says up to 70% off on this website, and if I click there, I can get that deal. But one of the new features that has started to show up on Facebook are these suggested posts. These posts are made to look like regular newsfeed items that would appear in my newsfeed. They could be something that a friend shared, something that a friend liked. But this is actually a sponsored post that someone paid for. So it's an ad that has been camouflaged to look like my regular newsfeed. But they're still trying to sell something. We'll probably see these ads get more and more sophisticated. If you are looking to advertise on social media, this short video offers some useful tips.
My career in social media just kind of happened. It wasn't something that I've always wanted to do since I was a little girl. It wasn't even a thing back then. I learned a lot of things along the way, and for those of you who want a career in social media, I hope you find these 5 tips useful. You really have to love social media. There really is a difference between somebody who just occasionally on Facebook because they want to see what their friends are doing versus somebody who is super active on it and wants to be part of the digital landscape. You have to be able to like and dive into analytics and data. It's a very art meets science type of role. So there's that part of you who wants to think about the beautiful photo that you want to post on your Instagram. But you also have to think about, well, is this something that is going to get a lot of engagement? So what I do as a part of my job is I look at all of our photos in the feed and see which got the most likes, which got the most comments, and others that haven't performed very well. And the photos that obviously have gotten tons of likes and people are really excited about and tagging their friends, those are the posts that I try to replicate. And the ones that have not done very well, I just move away from them in the future. You have to have a really strong and clear voice when you're in social media. It's really important that you're being honest and authentic, and as cliche as that sounds, it's true. And I'm sure you guys, when you guys are following celebrities and brands and people you love, you automatically detect when they're not being genuine. You constantly should be wanting to innovate and want to be part of the next big thing or scouting what the next big thing is going to be. When I first started in social media, it was all about Twitter because Twitter was the cool thing, and then it was Instagram, and so I was figuring out our Instagram strategy and what we should do there. And now what's really blowing up is Snapchat. So I'm thinking about how do we use Snapchat to engage our readers with our editors and how we're using it for Fashion Week. So it's really vital that you guys have this drive and almost a sense of competition to want to be the best in the space. Nobody is perfect, but you should strive for a really high standard of excellence, and that translates into everything from double checking your Twitter copy and making sure that there are no grammar errors and that you're not tagging the wrong accounts. So these are my 5 tips for succeeding in social media. If you have any tips, leave them in comments below right here.
So I'd like to highlight a couple of points that were brought up in the video. So when you're thinking about the type of content to post on your social media, there are some certain key factors. The first is that it should be data-driven. So when you are starting to post on social media, you can look at your analytics and see what content is getting the most impressions, but more important, if they're getting likes, if people are sharing or even commenting on your content. The more that someone is interacting with it, you can tell that the better that strategy was. So you can start to develop content that was similar to that one so that you can recreate that success. The other piece that was mentioned in the video is being authentic. It should be true, and it should be someone that seems real, that's speaking to the product and what it can do. So for these 2 examples, there was a really good example from our social media class last semester. One of the ongoing projects was using the New Mexico Highlands Facebook account. So when as a class we were looking at the data, we could start to see that the content that was driving the most success were short videos of students talking about their experience at Highlands. Because of that data, more videos were created. They were authentic, they were just shot on phones, tablets, things like that, but people were talking about their authentic experiences, and as a result, they were getting a lot of interaction. The final piece that I like to bring up that wasn't in the video, but I think is really important, is that your content should serve a purpose. So if that's promoting your brand, if you are actually trying to generate sales, you should know what the goal of that content is. So thank you for listening to my presentation today. These are a list of the references that I used in creating this, and I hope you enjoyed it.